All right, guys, we're live. Welcome to episode 156 of Chilling with the NY Warriors. That's right, guys. We got Spider-Man No Way Home discussion full of spoilers, guys. It's going to be a spoiler-filled episode. So if you have not watched it, please go do so and watch the movie, and then you can check us out on the rewind, guys. So without further ado, let me run that intro.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. We're here, NY Warriors. We live, ready to go. But before we get started, let me talk about my sponsors real quick of the channel. And of course, like always, we always start with my man Erod with the Express comic pressing service, guys. Warriors 10 gets you 10% off. Email him at expresscbp@yahoo.com, or you can email him at erod212, and he can submit to CBCS and CGC for you guys. And then we also have SconsinComics.com, guys. NY Warriors gets you 10% off your first order. So those EMW 10 and Thoro 10 as well. And last but not least, guys, we got the GeekySwagShop.com, guys. NY Warriors gives you 10% off. It's a reoccurring codes, guys, so you can keep using it. And check it out. All right.
Hell yeah.
You know, so before we get into the chat, I'm gonna just go down the line, introduce my fellow NY Warriors like I always do, and I'm gonna start with my man Eli. He hasn't been on in a minute. What's up, Eli?
He ain't been on in a minute. You haven't done a show in a minute.
Yeah,
What's up, everybody? You know, cool to be back. Talk some Spider-Man, even though I didn't see the movie, but I'm still gonna talk about it somehow.
He already got spoiled, so he knows everything that happened.
Yeah, I'm just like, all the key points. Pretty much, it confirmed everything that was I already had known ahead of time. So,
all right, cool.
You know.
All right, next we got my man Joker in the house. What's up, Joker?
Yo, what up? How you doing? What's up, everybody? You already know, man. I'm here. Just I'm going through books, man. I'm sorry, I'm not really paying attention. Man.
About yesterday, real quick. If they missed it.
Yeah, man. Definitely, man. Tune into that, man. We gave our annual comic book awards, man. For 2021. It was a good one. It was awesome. Tune into that. Check it out. The chat was interactive too, and we had a nice giveaway. So check it out, man. You know what I mean? So
it was a fun stream, guys. Link in the description below. You already know for everyone on here. Next, we got my man last minute entry right here. Just popped in here. We got my man Art Kemist in the house. What's up?
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the panel. Shout out to the Cowboys beating the Giants, baby. 21-6. Other than that,
yo, fam, why you let this dude in here?
Yo, dude, you're a Green Bay fan. Stop talking.
Yeah, it don't matter, son.
You're my mom, man. Y'all traitors to your own kind.
Yeah.
Other than that, what's up, everybody?
All right, cool, man. Thank you for joining us. And we got Oli from Hawaii. We got my man the Doom 143 in the house.
Yeah, what's up? Pa-da-pa. You heard me? You know how I am.
The rapper.
You know what I'm saying?
Bing bong.
Bing bong. I'm good, man. I'm good. Thanks for having me. As soon as I knew we was going to talk about this, I was like, Joker, get me on. Let's talk, man.
yeah. Sorry, guys. Full spoilers, guys. You got time now. So if you are in the chat and you have not seen Spider-Man No Way Home, just you can leave the chat and watch us on the rewind when you do.
Go do something else.
Yeah, because it's gonna be full
watch
spoilers.
Joker's comic book awards.
Spoilers.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Once we start talking, I'll have the ticker on the bottom saying spoilers, so that way you'll be aware. That's gonna be on. And last but not least, we got my man Marky 316 in the house. What's up, Marky?
What's up? What's up, everyone? Oh man, lots to talk about, lot to spoil. So you didn't see it. Get the hell off, and like what Eli said, go watch Joker's award show. That was a good damn freaking thing.
Yeah, it was. I didn't watch the movie, but
seriously.
Thank you, man. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So before we get into it, let me go down the chat and say what's up to everybody that's joined us. So we started here first with my man Marvel Value Tramp in the house. He said, "I'm going to bed. Can't wait to see you on the rewind tomorrow." All right, brother. Yo, have a good night, brother.
Bing bong.
Thank you for commenting anyway. We got my man Uncanny Swag. He said, "Let's go. Spider-Man was dope." That's right. We got spoiler alert. Don't worry, I'm gonna have the ticker once we start talking spoilers. Once we start talking about it, I'll have it running on the bottom. Who else here? We got my man Jersey to the Bay in the house. What's up, brother? He said, "What's good, people?"
Jersey.
We got Emerald Knight 041 in the house, chilling with us. We got J2 Ramirez in the house. What's up, brother? Hey, yo, go Cowboys. Yo, get the Cowboys up out of here, yo.
Yo, word. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, what the Cowboys out of here, yo? Oh, hold on one second. Got me first.
Biggs, you don't even watch football no more.
Yeah, Biggs is farting right now.
I haven't watched football in like 20 years, so I don't even know who plays
You
for these
ripping a
teams.
long one. Look.
Yo, huge shout out to Wifey. She brought me a cup of coffee, but in her pink cup, look. But you know what? It's a New York Warriors cup though, so pink is all right. I'm okay with pink.
Real man.
She want to make sure I stay hydrated, bro, for the show. She even brought me a bottle of water. Fucking awesome, man.
She knows you're gonna have a lot to say, huh? Oh man.
She came with me to the movie too. She has a lot to say about it too, but one day we'll get her on here. She's a huge fan of the movie. She watches all of them. So, who else we got here? We got my man Comics and Coach in the house. What's up, man?
Hell yeah, with the Iron Man.
We got my man Wobbles in the house. What's up, Wobbles, man? All right, guys. So, last warning to anyone that's not in the chat that, we're going to go with, I'm going to add this ticker real quick. So just let everybody know, when they come in here, Spider-Man No Way Home spoilers, guys. So before we start talking about it and we start giving our opinion, there's one thing I like to always go over, especially when a big movie comes out on the weekend. I always like to see the numbers and what is done. You know what I mean? I find that's important to do. So I'm gonna just share my screen real quick, guys, to you guys, and so we can look at this is from Variety.com. I always check the numbers on here because they're pretty accurate.
Yeah.
If you guys have not read this article, check it out. It's pretty informative. So. I know somebody reported 253 million this weekend, but it was actually 260 million with the US and Canada.
God damn.
So so opening weekend, it just that freaking blows it away right there, especially for we're still with pandemic. So considering that's still going on, this movie did amazing. But overseas it also did more money. So globally so far what did netted globally? Almost 500 and something million.
$600 million.
Yeah, in just
that's a
3-day weekend
of money.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So is that a record or what?
Yeah, third.
Yeah, it is.
No,
second.
Second
for them.
Opening in the States.
And then who's number one still?
Avengers.
Endgame. Yes. Endgame was 357 million. And it netted 600 million world globally on the first weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah. I didn't think it was going to beat Endgame, but everybody was like, it's going to beat it. So
no, it was going to beat it.
Well,
it was come close.
Cool, because people were saying they're calling this Spider-Man Endgame, right? This, but well, that's what they were calling it.
Yeah, that's the word.
Kind of finish up this.
It's in the top 3 now. It made the top 3 for MCU movies. It's Endgame, Infinity War, and this movie.
Nice.
Actually, it's Endgame, Spider-Man, and Infinity War.
And Infinity War, that, yeah. Which is appropriate because this was like Doom just said, the Endgame of the home saga, but if you want to call it that,
Right.
Nice.
What this tells me, like as a comic fan, as a fan of the MCU and Sony movies and the old ways when they were with when Fox had X-Men, this just tells me that MCU that Sony will not be selling Spider-Man anytime soon.
They don't need to, man.
No, it's their most profitable IP. So for them to I mean, you never could say never because we never thought that Disney would buy Fox Entertainment, right? You never could say never in this world, but it's going to cost a lot of fucking money to buy this property back.
They are holding it on till they're dead and gone. They're never going to give it up.
This is like Sony's only other profitable thing besides like PlayStation right now.
Yeah, so, guys, I don't have a link for the Variety website on there, but you guys know Variety.com. It's going to be the first article, the main article on their webpage right away. So, just look it up. I always go to the movie things for there. They're pretty much accurate.
Variety is very accurate.
Yeah, they're pretty accurate. So, all right, we could do this a few different ways. We could do a breakdown of the movie from beginning to end. We could do our thoughts and opinions on it real quick. If there's something anyone wants to really say about the movie overall right now, I think we can go and do that. You know, so anything, you know, I'm gonna just go down the line. I'm gonna start with Joker real quick. I see your mind, I can see your brain, you're thinking stuff right now.
He can see your mind.
I can see your mind. I can
honestly,
feel
yo, my out of shape ass. I was bent over looking for books.
Yeah, you like catching your breath and shit.
That's it.
His lungs stop working.
So you know what? We'll just start off with this. We'll just start off with before we get into any specific scenes. What's your overall thought of the movie, Joker? What's your? I want to keep this a little organized, not just everybody talking randomly at once. What's your overall thought of this movie so far? As a matter of fact, where does it place for you now? Since we did our top 10 already,
we did our top 10, and honestly speaking, I would have to change it now just because of this movie. I would have to add it into my top 10. This movie was awesome. This movie had everything. This movie was an emotional roller coaster. Not to say that you would like all crying out and shit, but it's an emotion. You do get some feels. You get excited for certain things. You get to see the nostalgia. But we'll talk about that when we talk about that scene. But everything overall is just it was honestly speaking almost like it was like a perfect movie. It was a perfect movie for me. Honestly speaking, as a superhero movie, one of my favorite superhero movies. I could put it. As a matter of fact, me and Biggs had an idea about doing another tag video, and I will put that in that list, Biggs, if you know what I'm talking about.
I agree 100%. I agree with everything you said. So we're on the same page here.
Yeah.
So okay, Marky, what is your overall? Without giving any details yet on plot points and specific scenes, we're gonna go over all the scenes from the beginning to end. So overall, what do you think?
It was. They crushed it. They killed it. They nailed it. This was like everything you wanted to see, everything you thought you were going to see, and maybe some things you didn't think you were going to see. They just had a good story, good plot. Bringing back, I mean, this ain't a spoiler yet, but bringing back these villains that we knew they killed it. They nailed it. Oh my God. It was just frigging good. And I already did. And I told you I was going to only do my top 10 after I seen that film. I placed this up first.
Okay.
So,
I saw you did it on your Instagram.
I thought it went on YouTube, but I didn't hit the link right, so I said,
you gotta do shorts. Yeah. We'll talk about that later.
I'll leave it on
I've been
IG.
using YouTube shorts. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And Doom, give us your initial thoughts, man. What do you think about this movie, man? What do you
All right,
where do you place it?
Yeah, so overall, I will say it makes my top 10, but I will say it doesn't make my top 5. I enjoyed the movie. And if you guys watched my top 10 video that I did, I'm really all about the feels, like how a movie makes me feel. There was a lot of parts that it really got to me. But as overall, there were some parts I'm just like, I felt like I was waiting. So I did enjoy this movie. I thought it was a good movie. I love seeing some of the things that I saw. I will say it does make my top 10 now, but definitely not my top 5.
With that being said by you, I'm curious to know why it doesn't make your top 5.
Yeah,
at least,
we'll get into it. We'll get into it for sure.
Yeah, Arsenio, you got to watch the movie, right?
Yeah, I did. I saw it. I saw it.
Okay.
I brought Adonis. So Adonis was there, and we saw it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yo, he's not even here. He's muted.
He's daddy on duty.
Yeah. Rastafari.
So without spoiling anything yet, because we're gonna do a breakdown of the movie or whatever, and then we get to talk about plot points and things like that. But overall, just a general review of what do you think, about the movie?
Everything I think about the movie, I ain't see it yet, so it was great because everybody kept telling me about it.
You can't even. You don't. You're gonna get spoiled, right?
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna watch.
It's okay. Okay, as long as you know that.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it anyway.
Yeah, because
enjoy it.
It's different from when you hear it to when you see it.
Okay, I feel you. Sometimes I don't mind being spoiled on movies too, and I still watch them anyway.
It's like wrestling. We all know who's going to win. But,
that's why I didn't ask Eli neither. Cause I knew Eli didn't watch it, but he's already spoiled on the movie and everything.
But it was like what John said, bro. The next, a few hours after the movie came out, people were already spoiling it, so it's been all over YouTube like crazy.
Oh, I stay the fuck off of that shit.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that I don't want to be spoiled at all. Like if I record a football game, I won't even go on IG the whole day. Like if I recorded a game because I want to go home and watch it myself, I won't even be on IG. But my wife, she wants to know. Because if she hears that the movie was awesome, then even more so it makes her want to see the movie even more.
Yeah. So I never heard nothing bad about that movie. So.
But I stayed off as much as possible. But I watched it on Thursday. Anybody else watch
I'd
it on
seen it
Thursday?
Thursday.
Nah,
I saw it Sunday.
I saw it Saturday
Oh,
morning.
so it's fresh for you, huh, big?
Yeah, I saw it yesterday morning. Yeah, caught the 10 a.m. matinee.
No, look at you.
Man.
Yo,
$10.
and let me tell you something. It was
$12
the theater was packed completely.
Yep.
Yeah, mine too.
They're all
Completely packed, man. And it didn't matter. It was 10 o'clock in the morning. People were having
Sure.
popcorn, candy, everything.
I was gonna say, do they serve eggs and eggs and?
No,
No,
no.
they had
Uh-huh.
people were just going in. Let me tell you something. The theater experience for this movie was awesome.
Yeah.
You know, and I haven't had a theater experience like this since Endgame.
Exactly.
You know, that was the last
Yeah.
time like somebody really rooted for a movie and all that.
Oh
You know,
man, yeah, I got a question. Never mind.
yeah. So we'll get into it. We'll start off right now. So the movie starts off right, the beginning of the movie, right? We can start with the beginning, man, because the beginning was him. You can see they're trying to get into MIT and all that, which I thought was pretty cool. You all know that Spider-Man doesn't go to MIT. You know what I mean? So you figure, are they gonna do it that way, or are they gonna do? Because he goes to the made-up college of Empire State University, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. That's the made-up college that he goes to. So they're trying to get into it, and
Goes to Columbia.
oh, actually, no. It starts off with the Far From Home.
Yeah,
And then
they're
the
far
Far From
from
home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right
it starts
into
with
it. Like
yeah,
nothing
guys.
happened.
Excuse me, I didn't write this down. This is just off of the fly.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So if I put other scenes in above from others, just, that's what it is. You could correct me. I'm cool.
No,
with
but
it.
you know what? I enjoyed how they started that movie off. Like it got you. It got you going from the very beginning.
Yep.
It got you remembering what you just saw, and
Yep.
then boom, you go into Spider-Man swinging, and then they do this point of view now that you don't see it like back in the day. Spider-Man, you would have to see him from the side or something. Now they give you like the up close POV, and
First person shooter. First person
yeah,
shooter.
first person shooter, and you see MJ being scared as hell, which I definitely would be. I know I would. And it was cool, man. It was really cool.
And he just drops casually on the bridge, right?
Right? That's the
Casually,
bridge.
and he answers his phone, and he's like, "Dude, I know we saw that in the trailer, but come on, you got this girl dangling,
Yeah, I know.
flipping 300 feet in the air, whatever
Yeah.
feet it is in the air. Like, what the fuck?" She's like, "Dude, are you serious?" He's like, "Oh shit."
It's like, oh, sorry, I gotta say
It
that.
goes to show how much he forgets. Yeah, like, oh shit, you can't
Yeah.
do this too, huh?
Yeah. What's cool is that they didn't keep it in the city. They took it to the subway, which you guys been in New York. You're from New York. The subway is like a big deal here. So that was cool. That perspective when they showed in the subway and shit like that, right?
Mhm.
Like
Yep.
that was pretty dope. So basically, you already know what happened after that. They, everyone finds out, everyone go crazy, yada yada. So we could fast forward. We could jump right to Doctor Strange. What do you guys think about the Doctor Strange part when he was introduced? Down the line. Go ahead, Mike.
Nah, I thought that was dope. That was awesome. I always enjoyed Doctor Strange. Benedict Cumberbatch, man. Dude, like Tony Stark is Robert Downey Jr. That's definitely Doctor Strange, bro. Same thing. It was awesome, man. That scene. And to find out that he, when Peter Parker was like, "Oh, why not so supreme" or whatever like that. It was Wong. Wong was so supreme on that one. And the fact that when Wong left, he went into the Shang-Chi. If you notice that he went to the Shang-Chi.
They're giving you now when this movie takes place.
Yes. So I thought that was awesome, man. So man, it was awesome to see Doctor Strange in this, man. So
cool.
That was dope. I think that was a big deal when because nobody really questioned that. Like he was snapped. So who was so supreme? And right, we never questioned that. I never questioned it, right?
Yep.
Well, there was a lot going on during those 5 years, right? So
it makes you think like what else happened in those 5 years that they're gonna go back to, that they're gonna do callbacks to that we don't know of.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff they can do. Man, 5 years is a long time.
Yep.
BB.
Yeah. Inside joke, guys. Inside joke.
Oh,
He did a DLC.
Oh man. Yeah, so he goes to Doctor Strange, right? He finds all that information out. And then Doctor Strange treats him like a friend.
Well, you're
right?
forgetting one scene before he meets Doctor Strange.
What was the scene?
Well, after his identity came out, and he can't go anywhere without him.
My bad. Yeah.
And so he's at a lawyer's office, and guess who he's talking to?
Mhm.
Oh,
Here
man.
we go with the spoiler.
Bro, That part,
Dude, the whole
Dude,
place went
dude.
ape shit.
the theater went freaking nuts. Bro.
Nuts.
There were
Matt Murdock.
3
people.
scenes. I think there was 3 or 4 scenes that the theater went crazy, and that was one of them. And you knew that. I was glad that I went in on a Thursday with an audience that knew what was what. I never like to go into a movie theater when I'm all like, am I the only one going nuts right now for what I'm about to see?
Nope.
Like, I remember when Captain America finally said assemble
Yes.
in Endgame. I was the only one in the whole theater, and I'm all like looking
for
around.
real? Oh,
Dude, I'm like,
man.
I'm the only one. Are you serious right now?
Dude,
So
my whole
when-
theater went nuts on that scene too.
No, but
Jeez.
so when we saw, we'll just keep it simple, Daredevil.
Yeah,
Dude, the theater went freaking ape shit. And I was like, the one thing I was so happy about was like, I'm in a good crowd right now. I'm in a really good crowd.
That's true. That's a good point, Doom. You know how much the crowd knows when they react to certain
way
scenes
they
that
did.
you already know that you know it requires a reaction. And the Charlie Cox scene was freaking dope.
Yeah, it was
great.
You know,
It was a
we were
short
spoiled
scene,
with that
but it was
scene.
great.
Like, well, not the scene, but like about 2 years ago, right when the pandemic started, what they were filming, like before they shut down, there was some leak photos of him on the set. You know what I mean? So that came to fruition that it was true, you know. And then everyone's like, "Oh, are those fake? Or they not?" Everyone's speculating or whatever, you know.
But that opens the door now. You know,
Yeah.
those
Daredevil,
Netflix
Spider-Man.
shows are kind of like
It
they're
does,
right
but
here.
I think they're gonna pick and choose with the next Netflix shows of who they want and who they want to go over. So
gotta
I
be
don't
the
think it's
gotta
just
be
everyone.
you gotta get the Punisher in, man. You gotta.
It's not gonna be so what's cool is that when he was telling Peter, so you already know that he knows that Peter is innocent because he can tell if he's lying or not. So if you know
Yes.
Daredevil's powers, he can listen to his heartbeat and know if he's lying and stuff like that. You know what I mean? The same way a lie detector test could tell if you're lying or not. So you already know he knows that he's saying the truth, and you could tell that he knows that Happy's hiding shit. You know what I mean? Because Happy's up for hiding that Stark tech that's gone missing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, but I think Happy's supposed to have that stuff, you know, because how is
Daredevil season 4? Daredevil goes find that missing Stark.
no, the stuff Happy has it. Happy has it. They showed you in the movie. But the cool scene was when the brick came through the window, and you already saw Spider-Man was gonna catch it, but he just backhand catched it, bang.
And then his line, "I'm a very good lawyer."
Yes, that was funny as hell right there when he said that, you know. And when everybody caught it, everybody went, "Ooh!"
Yep.
Yeah, the theater. So I thought that was
Daredevil,
really
Spider-Man. I mean, I love how the Spider-Man is kind of like the bridge between like certain characters. Like they're taking.
Yes.
If you read Spidey in the 60s, if you read the 60s Spidey, if you read the 80s Spidey, these are the characters that, you know, most people from y'all generation, my generation a little bit, you know, to resonate with Spidey, Daredevil, Doctor Strange, you know, all those characters. And it's so cool because now this is like the first time you're seeing them together on the big screen. And people, I think, you know, this is kind of like a cool ass thing because it's like, whoa, I read the Spidey comics with Doctor Strange and Daredevil teaming up with Spider-Man, and now I'm seeing this on the big screen.
Yes,
so
there was a lot of
dope.
throughout this whole movie. There was a lot of callbacks and a lot of plot points that it took. Like for example, one that it kind of changed around was the whole, you know, Spider-Man forgetting, you know, everyone's spitting out about Spider-Man. That's basically a brand new day, a different version of a brand new day. If you guys have not read that story from back in the day, you know, when Mephisto, you know, I think originally he went to Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange said no, that he's not going to do that. And then Mephisto heard that he wanted that. And then Mephisto did it in his own little, you know, crazy way or something like that, you know. So it was kind of the same plot, but you know, in the movie, of course, there's no Mephisto introduced, so Doctor Strange did it for him. You know what I mean? And why wouldn't he help him out? You know, they saved the world together. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And he said that.
It makes sense when he says that. So we go back into the Sanctorium, you know, and he talks about the spell and all that, and then you guys see what happens with the spell, right?
Right. He keeps on interrupting the spell because once he told them, well, everybody's well, I don't want MJ to forget me. All right, all right. Oh, I don't want Ned to forget me, and they say you're screwing up the spell, Parker. You know, and that was it.
Yeah, the only thing I found with that part is someone like Doctor Strange. You know, this guy's a smart guy. He was a doctor first, right? You know, a real doctor, and he was a sorcerer supreme and all that. You would think that he would not just rush into a spell like that. Like they'll really talk it out first before, because that's all they had to do, so it wouldn't mess up. You know what I'm saying?
You had to do that for certain other things to happen.
But you know what? There was a a bunch of moments just like that constantly reminded you that Peter Parker, as badass as he is still a kid.
Yes.
You know, and that was like a huge a huge thing in the story that kept going and going and going, is that constant reminder that, hey, you know, as badass as he is, he's a kid. Like literally, you know, take yourself back to 17, 18 years old. You know, like you think you know everything. You're pretty confident in yourself. And then you're like, you know, I'm 46 now and I realize I didn't know shit. And I did so many things wrong. And if I, you know, just shut up a lot of the times in my life, just like Peter Parker, right? And there was a lot of cool moments like that really reminded me, like, you know, I keep forgetting, like, yeah, that's right. This guy's a kid, you know, like you can't expect. Yeah, go ahead.
You know, I talked about Daredevil already, right?
We just finished about Daredevil. What do you thought? How did you react when you saw that?
That was, I don't know if y'all. I'm sorry if y'all said the same shit. I was just away.
It's all right. It's all right. We only just got past that part.
All right. Basically, when we first saw Charlie Cox, you know, we saw Matt Murdock or whatever. That was the first time the audience was like, "Whoa, yeah!" You know, that's the first interaction that we had. You know, with and then you got the feels like, "Oh shit, all right, my man Daredevil, he's in the MCU officially now." You know, we was hyped about that. You know, but man, it was awesome to see him. But like Man from Beantown said, well, we haven't gotten to that part yet. Now, does he even remember, like, you know, Peter Parker now or whatever? But I don't know. You know,
no one does at all.
So, we're gonna get that. You're jumping a little ahead.
Even though it's okay. You can't help but jump ahead because just so
much to talk about.
Even though I didn't see the movie, like, you know how you guys were just talking about how Doctor Strange is rushing to doing the spell without questioning. Like, maybe it goes back to, like, you remember when he was meditating in, what was it, Endgame or Avengers, in the Avengers movie? I forgot which one it was. I mean, not Avengers.
That was Infinity War.
Infinity War, when he was meditating and he was like, well, there's a whole bunch of like scenarios. If something happens, you know, it might not come out right. Maybe he knew that was going to happen already when he was meditating.
Oh, but
you know, I feel you with that, but I think that's going to.
He's going to pay consequences for this spell.
That's another rabbit hole to go into.
That's another thing.
It is, but you know, he was there for a hot minute. He was like, "Yeah, we can't do that because you do that." I can't tell you what's going to happen, but I don't think that's the way you want to go.
Yeah, because he was only going towards the snap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think he went that far into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Right,
he even said in the beginning, "Well, we're supposed to change everything because Peter Parker has you want to live two lives and you have a few problems that you can't deal with." You know, he was kind of like a little snug about it first too.
What was it, in Endgame or Infinity War that happened? You told me I was sitting on. He had the time stone, so he could do that. And this one, he didn't have the time stone, so he couldn't do that.
That's another thing. Also, another thing, because we you know, when he went to the Sanctorium, is that we found out that he wasn't Sorcerer Supreme no more. That was Wong. And number two, we found out that he doesn't have the time stone anymore because Yeah, remember the original time stones from that MCU universe? They were destroyed. Thanos destroyed them. Remember when he said I destroyed them? And then the ones that they brought in Endgame, Captain America brought them back to where they were at. So that means there's no time stones at all in this version of the MCU and in that reality, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
You know? Yeah, so he does the spell. You guys already know the gist of that. That was all over the trailer. He botches the spell because he's like, no, wait a minute, this, wait a minute, that, wait a minute, whatever.
Yeah, because Spider-Man kept on throwing them off. Like, oh, can you?
Because whenever he said something, it
kind of. I don't want this forget.
Yep.
Yeah, which was pretty dope, you know. And then, whatever, the spell was about to go berserk, and then he just boom, he contained it, you know what I'm saying? But we know that shit, slipped up, you know what I mean? That's when he gave him that whole speech about you didn't call them first and all that, like my man in the chat said, Uncanny Swag, he got on his ass for, that's when he said, I forget sometimes that you're just a kid, you know what I mean? So then we fast forward, nothing else is relevant until we get into the highway scene.
Oh yes.
There we go.
The highway scene was dope. You know what I liked about the highway scene? These little things that they throw in there that are freaking dope. Remember it was a callback to Iron Man too. To Iron Man. I forgot which movie in Iron Man, but how Tony Stark's suit was mad wrinkled under the Iron Man armor.
Okay. Right.
Oh, yeah, I forgot which movie that was from, but you see him, when he took off the iron suit, his suit was mad wrinkled because it was underneath the suit. And then we get our first villain there. He's trying. I'm not gonna go into every detail. Let's just go to the main point of it. that's when you first get the reveal of Doc Ock when his arms came out.
Tentacle,
The tentacle came out, and when you hear the bump, hit the ground, how did that sound to you guys? I was like, that shit shook my heart, yo. Like,
it was
dude.
really good. It was really good. Got you ready. Something's going down.
Yeah. So that whole scene right there was dope. So we go down the line. What do you think of that scene? Go ahead, Mike. What are your thoughts when?
That scene was freaking awesome. Like me and my once we heard the thump and all that, we saw the tentacle. I tapped my son, and my son taps me like, like we know already. It was just awesome. Like and then we got to see Alfred Molina, and in this movie it explained why he was around, and and how he's still alive. So whenever we get to that part, I guess we'll talk about that. But it was awesome. That whole scene was dope, and it explained how he got the red tentacles because of the armor, because of Spider-Man's armor. The tentacle touched basically his armor, and then the nanotech,
nanobites.
Went on his tentacles, and now Spider-Man can control his tentacles. He's basically controlling, Dr. Octavius. You know what I mean? So yeah, that scene was freaking badass. But that was the first villain that we saw there, that scene. But go ahead, Biggs. I'm gonna let you.
No, yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead. What I liked about that scene is when when you said when the nanotech like got it, is how he controlled it, and they gave it a call back. They did a throw into what we do things now. How how we pair our devices.
Right.
We use that term. I'm gonna pair these heads. So he paired the tentacles to his armor, which is dope, and he just could control him. You know what I'm saying? So that was pretty dope. What do you think about that scene, though?
Yeah, no, it was really good. I mean, I think that was the first scene that I saw that it felt more like Sony than MCU. And I think there was a bunch of scenes that had a Sony feel versus an MCU feel. That's why, and I'll go back to what I was saying. It's in my top 10, but it doesn't make my top 5. But you know what? There was such great movies anyway in the MCU. It's kind of hard to place, But it does make my top 10 anyway. So it was one of those things. But it was nice doing the callback. It was nice seeing Doc Ock again. It was nice seeing what Disney could do visually versus what Sony did visually.
Yes.
It also, it brought Peter to like a whole new villain. You know what I mean? Like a whole new, even though he fought against Thanos and whatever, like it brought him to like this whole new villain with this whole new power. And then it was funny because there was so much going on. And then, Doc Ock is like, "You're not Peter." And he's all like, "I'm so confused."
Yeah.
And he's all like, "I'm so confused on right now." And, but yeah, it was a great scene. It was an awesome scene. And, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it, but it was the first scene that made me feel like, oh, this feels more like Sony.
Yeah, what was cool is that I know we've seen this in the original Spider-Man movies, but you see the strength of those tentacles.
Yeah.
How they could just pick up a car like it's nothing and just chuck it at him. So that was pretty dope. He was just throwing all these cars, and the way he was trying to save the people and all that. That was really nice of it. And then.
Especially that MIT president, right?
Yeah, the MIT.
Yeah, I mean the advisor, whoever she was.
Right. Trying to get
like, you know what? You're a hero. You're a hero. I'm gonna speak to them about you and your friends.
Yeah. I just like how it was really seamless. I get what he's saying, Doom. I get what you're saying with Sony and Disney. I didn't even feel anything like that. I just thought it was a damn good Spider-Man film because they took elements. They took elements from all the films and threw it in there, but we'll get to that. But go on, everybody talked about that. Yeah, that was great.
And then after he subdues him or whatever, you see the pumpkin bomb right away. So we all know. And even though you saw that in the trailer, that pumpkin bomb, like everybody went, "Oh!" That was another,
And the laugh, right? The laugh,
yeah. That laugh was crazy, man. The laugh, man. Yeah. And then you see fucking Green Goblin on the glider hanging there. But you thought there was going to be a fight there, but right away, Doctor Strange just went and swept them. So I like that. I like that part. I was like, oh, fuck. I said, they like, we're not going to give you all the goods right now. You're not going to see them fight.
We're not going to tell you everything yet.
They literally just teased us right there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They teased us right there. and then they go to Doctor Strange back to the Sanctorium and
Explain
basically
what's going
cage
on.
him and all that, and that's when they start finding out where these guys came from and all that. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to break down that scene completely because it's just a quick scene, but just the only thing that stood out to me, I know the movie. I'm not going to say the movie was perfect. It had a couple of things, but I kind of find it how. Doctor Strange just told them to Scooby do that shit back together. Go fix it.
Yeah.
Go, it's like, okay, he's a kid. He's a kid, and you just gonna go and let them do their thing on their own. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't make sense. He gave them the tools to catch them, but I thought that he would probably go with him to start the catching. So again, down the line, what do you think about that part, real fast?
Yo, real quick before get to that, I saw this meme today about Spider-Man, and it was talking about instead of like Doctor Strange, him and Peter Parker like, oh, fucking make everybody erase, my name or whatever. Why not just erase the moment where Mysterio said that he was Peter Parker? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, shit, that makes sense. Like if that happened, none of this would have happened. You know what I mean?
We would have a great movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that would have took care of everything, right?
Maybe the spell couldn't work like that. Who knows?
Who knows? I don't know. But
then
it was
we wouldn't have a $260-something million weekend movie.
They have a $13 million opening, and that would be the end of the Spider-Man.
You make me feel like you never worked at a job before when the corporate calls down and says to do something. And they're like, why the fuck are we doing this? Why don't we just do that? It's just like one of those things, But,
right. True that.
But we gotta get. No, you go.
No, I just was saying. So I'm trying to remember this movie because I saw it Thursday. Did the mirror dimension thing happen? All of that?
Not yet. Not yet.
Not
yet. So after, so if I recall the sequence of the movie, after he sent, he got. That's when he got MJ and Ned to help him track them down. Track down the
Dr.
other
Strange explained
people
that
who escaped.
Did that these other dimensions and whatever, and they're coming for him.
Yeah,
they're coming for Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
But it could be a Spider-Man from different universes. And these are villains from different universes. So he explained this, and he says you have to trap them, and we have to send them back.
Yeah.
So he gives him a friggin' thing on his spider suit with the nanotech or whatever, so he can just zap him in the cells.
Yeah,
so,
but his suit was dirty with that yellow, with that green,
that green goo.
Oh, right, the green. His original suit. Yeah, the regular suit. Right.
Yeah. So you remember in the trailers, we didn't know what that. Well, I think somebody mentioned. I think Mike, you had told me that was his suit inside out.
Yeah.
Or somebody, but I remember we didn't know, like we didn't know if it was going to be a new suit or it wasn't like 100% clear that was his suit. So you realize now that was just his suit inside out.
Yeah, someone threw paint
at
him because
you saw the wires and all that shit hanging from him.
Yeah. We thought we didn't know how that happened. Like it was some kind of spell that made it go inside out or what. We didn't know.
Yeah.
At the time, what it was, but now we know it was just him putting the suit inside out. Yeah, because that goop that was on
because of J. Jonah Jameson calling him a menace.
yeah. And then I think the next villain that we got into was Mysterio. I mean, not Mysterio. Electro. Was Electro.
And Flip Marco. And Flip Marco.
Yeah, and Flip Marco. Yeah, Sandman together. Yeah, and I liked how they just didn't show Jamie Foxx just like a regular human. They started him off blue.
Yeah, they started off the blue thing, and they said, "What is that blue light over there?" or whatever that was.
So they started him off blue, and then as he was absorbing the electricity from, the power on this universe, he said it feels different than the one from his universe, and that's what made him change it, like his human form, I guess. I guess that's what they came up with to get rid of the blue man, right?
Well, it's
is that what it was? That's the part I knew he was. I didn't understand what he was talking about. I know he said that the energy
is different.
This world was different from his, and I'm just like, what's the difference? You know what I mean? But I mean, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, who knows? I mean,
that's what he said as he was absorbing the electricity. He says, "This world is different." He said the energy feels different. It's better. It's more. It's a richer energy. Like it different, and that it gave him that effect. It brought him back to
So you
could tell too.
Yeah. So his color came back and everything, and he was all ecstatic, and we were like, "Yes, we finally got rid of the blue-looking Electro, and now we get in the business here." And Jamie Foxx was great. He didn't have, I thought, okay, we know Doc Ock's going to be a major thing. We know Green Goblin's going to be a major thing. I don't know about these other ones that they're bringing in and how big are they going to have a role. They all had their sequences in this film. They all had some part in this film. So it wasn't just like, oh, okay, we're going to sprinkle this, sprinkle that. No, they all had a thing in this film. So they all get their moments.
Yeah, and the fighting scenes when he fought Electro first, I thought it was pretty dope.
Pretty cool.
I thought it was done well. It was done at night, which was cool because then you could, I guess, because you want to see the electricity, the lights better, when you fight somebody like him on that side.
I had this in IMAX, and when he came out, they gave him that, that theme that he has with the big bass.
Yeah, it goes
the whole fucking place rumbled when that came up, and then the crowd went ape shit,
So I'm glad you pointed it out, because if you notice with all the villains so far, like what I was noticing is that the sound effects of the villains that they had in their original movies, they kept them.
Yep.
So that the audience could relate to remembering how each of them sounded. So with Doc Ock, you hear the tentacles, the way they moved. That's exactly how they sounded in the Spider-Man 2 movie. And like you said, Electro's when he uses electricity, you hear that bass, that boom. It was the same way.
Yeah. And they also they call it sonic marketing or something, where they keep the sounds the same or something. So that way it's always recognizable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they did a good job with it. Yeah. They did a good job with it because you recognize it right away. For people like us that we saw the originals and most of them in the theaters.
Yeah, it's like the lightsaber. When a lightsaber goes off, when you don't really hear it, when you don't see the lightsaber, but you hear that thing. It's the same. It's the same feel you get. You're like, oh crap, I can.
Yeah. The humming that when it snaps on the.
Yeah, exactly. Like we all know what it is. So
yeah. I don't know what my man Thoro over there talking about. He bugging. He bugging.
So he said.
Speaking negative,
Spider movie was not great. Like people have been hyping it. It was dope, but in all honesty, should have been a 2-part movie. It suffered heavily from the Josh Whedon JL too much.
No,
yeah, I don't feel that way with that.
As person that watches the Justice League and all the problems with DC, no, I didn't feel that way, man. I disagree, man. But hey, everybody has their own opinion. That's the thing about being subjective.
Yeah, not everybody's gonna like everything. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like Hawkeye. There's people online bashing Hawkeye big time. They can't stand it, and I like Hawkeye. I think it's one of the better shows so far to all Disney Plus. You know what I mean? I really enjoy it, but there's people that really ain't going in on Hawkeye, yo. But that's another topic. We're gonna stick back to the movie again real quick. So he gets Electro, whatever. They have the little dialogue, all that bullshit. That goes good. Sandman also, right? They kind of connected right back to back with it, or whatever. Then after that, that's when I think they cut those. Isn't that when they cut to Green Goblin?
Yes, real quick.
And they show you him talking to himself or whatever.
Yeah, battling himself again.
He kind of has they kind of give him like that Spider-Man moment a little bit where he throws the suit in the garbage can.
He didn't throw the suit. He took the mask off and he was talking.
Took the mask off, yeah. But it was kind of like, you know what I mean?
Similar, yeah.
It gave you those vibes. It was in the alley, and they did that whole thing. Exactly. And so we all know that from the first Spider-Man movie that the Goblin serum is like it gives him a split personality. Like the Goblin talks to him in his head, and then he's really trying to be a good guy, but the Goblin doesn't let him be good, But it comes back like he's normal himself, and then the Goblin just bam.
And I love the switch that he does with his voice. Like one second he's normal, and then that fucking laugh and that statistical talk that he does.
I'm not good with actors' names and stuff like that, but I gotta tell you, all the villains. All right, cool. But out of all the villains, I'll tell you right now. I mean, his acting in this movie was, it was just pretty awesome.
He killed it.
Green Goblin is like a homage to like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Definitely, yes.
And he did a good ass job. I mean, really,
did a perfect job.
Yeah, it was.
Like he never left it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. His version of the Green Goblin is done really. He was a good Green Goblin in his movie. I liked it, for the first Spider-Man movie. But in this one, he shows you his caliber, man. How he did a great performance on it, man. Like, I'm not comparing him to like Heath Ledger Joker performance, but if I had to compare like how I felt watching William Dafoe portrayed, I think he gave just a strong performance for that character for what he was given.
I
Oh
agree.
my god,
I
so
agree.
good, so
Yeah,
good.
it gave me that. It gave me those vibes again. Like, wow, like he
Yes.
really killed it. Like,
It goes to show how good he was in the original Spider-Man movie. You know, in part one, how he was. It just reminded me. He brought that same shit, the same vibe back. You know what I mean? In the MCU style, and that was awesome. I like that. That was pretty dope.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah. So I like that, and then it, when Peter went back to to the apartment or the condo or whatever, he found him there, and he was like, wait a minute. I did kind of find that weird for him to go there, you know what I mean? To go to the apartment, but
He wasn't at the apartment. He was at a shelter.
it was at
that
the
a
soup
mom- that-
kitchen.
Yeah,
The
like
soup
a
kitchen,
shelter.
yeah.
soup kitchen. That
Sorry, it
May
was the
works
shelter.
at,
Yeah, she found him at the shelter. She brought him home. Yeah, that's
He
how
brought him
that
home.
went.
because
Well,
she
that's
was
where she was
Spider-Man to
working
help.
at, right? That's where Aunt May was working at, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and he ran to her. Yeah, that's the scene that they show him running to. He still had the black suit on, the inside out suit
Mhm.
or whatever, and he ran through the soup kitchen or shelter, whatever it was.
A shelter.
And
Let's call it a shelter.
yeah, he was ready to send him back, but then she realized that he's like a person that needs help. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's battling himself. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the first time we see like his morals being questioned right there, and that's when we start getting that whole thing. What is he gonna do? Is he gonna just send them back or what? You know what I mean?
Right. That's when we.
Well, I think that's where it first started, right? That's where this whole twist
Yeah,
of the movie kind of first started, was with the Green Goblin, right? Because it turned into this whole like rehabilitation program
yeah, right.
for villains, I think, but it started with that one right there, right? Because initially it was all about, let's capture these guys and send them back, and then I think that was the initial, like, okay, there's a rehab state, like maybe we could do something.
No, yeah, it's almost
think that
like
was
a
the first
throwback to mental illness, and there's a lot of awareness going around with that, in the last few years. And it kind of throws back that these villains are not just villains to be villains. They, what they did, probably they shouldn't have done to become that way. But once they became that way, that mental illness sect in. So when he gave himself to serum to make himself stronger, he didn't think it was gonna mess up his head like that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right.
Right. Initially there was a good behind it, right?
There was a good intention for it. Yeah,
Exactly.
you know?
Initially, right.
Yeah,
And
the same thing with the lizard. Doc Connors, he was trying to regrow, humans from regrowing limbs,
Yes.
to help.
Yeah.
like,
And then the
soldiers
same
and
thing
things
with the
like that.
Sandman, right? The Sandman was just trying to get his daughter back. That's
Yeah,
all
he
he was
was.
trying to do.
Yeah, he was in jail for not. He didn't kill in that movie. He didn't kill directly.
He took
he
the
did-
fall for the other guy.
Yeah, for Ben.
Right.
He took the fall for the death of Ben Parker. But he didn't shoot him to shoot him. It was an accident. He ran into him, and the gun went off
Right.
or whatever. And he got thrown into that thing. There it was an accident where he became.
Whatever. This hand.
Yeah.
And
That was an
That's where they
accident.
made. Is that where they made the joke about falling into stuff? Like,
No,
they were
actually,
talking
Joker was first. So remember, Joker was older
Joker
than
fell
those
in
characters.
before any of these Marvel fucks did.
no. But you remember, like,
Oh.
so Electro fell into like a bath of eels, and then the
Yeah.
other guy fell
Yes.
into like the sand trap.
I
So,
like
like,
how
he-
they explained their origins to each other. when
Right,
they
they're
were
like, "Oh, you better
trapped in there.
watch
That
out."
was pretty good.
Yeah, just watch out where you step, I guess. Right?
Right.
Yeah. The
I
only
like
person that didn't fall was the Green Goblin. He didn't fall.
Yeah, his was that whole, he tested himself on the server before it was fully ready.
Well, you actually fast forward a little bit, so I'll just get to the, because he gets the lizard and everything, and now they're explaining everything. After he brings back the Green Goblin and everything, he's telling Doctor Strange, we can help them and send them back, and then he explains to him, no, they have their fate. And whatever, if that Spider-Man of that world kills them, then that's where it's got to be. You can't interfere or whatever. And then he brings him into the mirror universe. Remember that whole scene and everything like that.
Yeah, so he brings him right into the mirror. That part I didn't know. I don't like the fights in the mirror universe. Like I didn't like that.
Cool.
Nah, I don't really. I'm not really feeling that.
Nah,
I
that
don't know.
shit was dope, bro. That shit was dope.
You had to see. I don't know. Did you see it in IMAX?
No, not IMAX. It was
That
like
fucking scene was
video-
crazy on IMAX screen, man.
Yeah,
No,
I mean, it was cool
it
to
was
see.
good.
I'm not saying that it's not. It wasn't cool or whatever. But I like how he figured out how the mirror dimension is just basically geometry. You know,
Geometry, right?
Yeah, it was geometry. So I thought that was pretty dope.
You know,
But after the little bout and everything, then he explained this is what's got to be and everything like that.
You know,
and
you know,
they
prior-
trap him in there. So
you know, prior to that scene, I'm just, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong.
That scene, I'm
No,
sorry.
no, I'm just saying prior to that scene, and correct me if I'm wrong. Is that the first time we found out that her name was actually Michelle Jones? Or did we know it was Michelle Jones and not Mary
No,
Jane?
we know that prior to that.
Yeah, was it prior to that? Okay.
I think
Yeah.
it was prior.
Okay,
They
I
just
was wondering.
called her
We know, that,
MJ.
we know she wasn't Mary Jane. I know that. We know
No,
that.
I know that, but did we know it was Michelle Jones? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
and that part of Mary Jane, like I really not feeling her as an MJ type. You know what I mean? Like I'm not really like she doesn't match him. I don't know. It just
I know. I already knew that she wasn't freaking Mary Jane. Like you had to be like a dumbass to not know that. Like, yo, that's not Mary Jane. Come on, they're not gonna do that to people.
Yeah, but you know what I think, and I'm super fast forwarding here, but this really does open the gate for the actual Mary Jane.
It opens
it
a
does.
lot
It
of
really opens the like we will, you know, so whether it's, you know, Spider-Man 25 or 42 or 43, whatever it is.
Maybe we could get
trying to
Deborah
get-
Whitman.
Yeah, whatever you're trying to get. I was like, as soon as, and then again, like I said, I'm super fast forwarding here, but I'm all like, oh shit, we might actually get the real MJ, like coming forward. But anyway, okay, yeah, the mirror dimension scene was pretty cool, and like Biggie said, I really liked the part where you could tell like he could go through all of this, right, action wise, doing all of this stuff, and at the same time think on his, you know, and be, you know, think really quickly enough to like figure this whole thing out, which is amazing. You know what I mean? I was in the military, and you know, if you're going through war, trust me, you can't really do two things at once. A lot of times it's just one thing, which is fighting, right? So to be able to like do the fight and act at the same time, think of how to figure this out and how to solve it. That part was pretty cool. I actually kind of like that part.
Yeah, I like that part.
My wife didn't like the mirror dimension at all. She thought there was too much things going on, and she said it makes her eyes funny. So
The mirror dimension.
it can make you dizzy. Yeah, it can make you the.
So where are we at? So okay, so after the mirror dimension, Doctor Strange gets trapped in the mirror dimension. He closes off the portal and he takes the box to send them back. So now they're all trapped in his cages or whatever they got, and then they start talking to each other. And this was great because then it opened up, you know, what happened to each one. Like, you know, Dr. Octopus said, "Yeah, Osborn, you're dead." He didn't even know he was dead. They don't know they die. They don't know.
Because so this is you find out that they were taken. The moments they were taken are right before. So when he sank his machine, that he was falling into the river, that's when he was taken right there. Same thing with Green Goblin. He was taken right before he got hit from the glider, and the same thing with Electro when basically he was dying because that killed him in the movie with, you know, in the Amazing Spider-Man 2. So you know that's when they were taken, when they were
right. And Doc Ock said I had you in my hand, and next thing you know, I'm here.
Yeah.
You know.
So that was cool.
Was that done on purpose, or was that done by mistake? No,
it was done on purpose.
They did it that way to tie in all the other movies.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So because they try to give you, I guess, a little bit of logic of how they came. You know, how they came to the universe, you know, when they were pulled out, and it gave you a little closure. You could basically see those movies and then see this one. It's like a continuation of all those movies.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And I liked how the villains from the Toby era and then the Andrew Garfield didn't know each other.
No,
they had
they're
to
different
explain,
universes.
they had to explain, hey, I'm this here. And that's like, and they're like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know?
So that's when Peter starts to help them and try to fix them. You know what I mean? Because he gets the whole, he gets the whole thing, and you know, he's like, wait a minute, we have advanced technology. We can do this.
Technology. We can help you.
Yeah, and that's when you find out that Happy was holding all that tech Stark. You know,
right. There you go.
Yeah, and they started working on everything, you know, which was pretty good. And then you know that was going to turn to hell or whatever.
Well, there was one scene in that. Okay, so they're in the apartment or whatever, and he's doing what he does with the tech, with the Stark tech. fixing everybody. And the first one he goes with is Dr. Octopus. Of course, he was reluctant and all that stuff. He made a new inhibitor chip. So he put it in, and then all of a sudden, it's just like light and day. Like, oh my God, thank you so much and everything. And it's kind of, you get a little like, oh wow, he's finally feeling himself again without the things talking to his head and everything. Then we go into getting the Green Goblin fixed, and that's when shit turns, because all of a sudden in my theater, you hear this buzzing. And then it's just getting loud, like a ringing in your ear or whatever. And you just see Peter like all just like focused on this and following somebody. And then all of a sudden you just see him throw out a web and it hits Green Goblin's hand because he was going for something. And then all of a sudden you see Willem Dafoe just turn around with that friggin' face and that voice like, you figured me out. And basically he threw a monkey wrench into that whole plan.
Yeah, well, prior to that too, wasn't like, was it before that or after that where Electro was kind of on the fence?
He was on the fence before. He was talking to Sandman, but he was like, "Look, if we can get home, this is how we have to do to get home. Let the kid help."
No, but the whole thing with Electro, the whole thing with Electro is that he had nothing to go home to.
Yeah,
right?
he didn't have nothing to go home to.
If you remember the movie, he really was a nobody, right? And then you know everybody dogged him out, teased him out. And then until he got this one thing, really, that's when he became quote unquote somebody. That's when
he had a Stark thing on his chest and whatever.
Yeah, he had the arc reactor. Yeah,
yeah, and then that's right there. That's like unlimited power. Like he doesn't have to go someplace
absorbing anymore.
He doesn't have to go to the supermarket and then put in one of those fucking. He charged himself up. Like he literally has like unlimited. Power and stuff. So
yeah, for him to
I remember he was on the fence. He was on the fence the whole time.
Yeah, for him to leave was no good for him. It was better if he stood in this universe.
Yeah, he could have been.
They didn't have that. They don't have Avengers and they didn't have Iron Man in the other movies.
Oh, that was funny. I remember that Avengers.
Yeah. So
while that was happening, it was MJ and your boy. What's his name, man?
Ned.
Yeah, they go. They're in some apartment. Whose apartment? I don't know who apartment was. And my man Ned Leeds had my man Doctor Strange's ring, right, or something like that.
Oh,
and,
right.
He said before that, to set you up for that, he said that his grandma says that there's magic in their family.
Yes.
Right. In the beginning when he first showed up at the.
He said that. Yeah. So when he took the ring, that he has the ring, that he did that whole thing. So he said, "Damn, I wish Peter was here." And then you see the sparks, and that's when they.
Oh.
Yeah. So we can fast forward. We can jump into that right now because we're going a little long. It's already almost an hour. So that's when we first get our first Spider-Man, when he's like, "Bring Peter back."
Oh
and
my God!
Out comes Andrew Garfield, man. So.
I tell you what, the theater freaking got nuts, bro.
Hell yes.
The theater got nuts, bro. I'm popcorn flying, babies flying.
They were yelling. And then after that happened, then it was like everybody, like I couldn't hear nothing what they said. All I seen was rip off the mask, and then they made the joke of him climbing on the wall and all that other stuff. And then everybody was going, Toby. And then it's like, well, try again. And then everybody lost it again. I didn't even hear what he said. All I seen is another portal, and out comes the other guy.
Yeah. So they were already in our universe. So
they were already in there.
Yeah. So they were in our universe already. So when they finally bring a Toby in, you can see their age. Obviously,
oh my God.
They look a lot older.
See the Maguires, definitely,
especially Maguire.
Yeah.
They look a lot older.
But he said, years went by, so he acknowledged that I already did all this. I know what happens to him and him and him. And, you got me at another time. When things were fixed up.
Yeah, he was pulled out at a time where him and MJ are still together, and who knows if they're married and they have Mayday Parker, who you don't know, right? Mm-hmm. So that's all speculation or whatever. But I like how they came in. And I like I don't know if people like this or not, but I liked it. I like how they made Toby like he was more like the senior out of them, which he is the senior out of all of them. But he was the more mature one. He seemed like the more grounded Spider-Man out of all of them. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna get too far into this, but there was a couple of scenes where it made me appreciate the Maguire Spider-Man a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Like there were certain scenes, and when we get there, we'll get there. But
Yeah.
like it really, like he's to me now is Spider-Man #1, and I'm just gonna
Yeah.
say that. Like he's always been Spider-Man #1, and I didn't realize it until this movie. But I will say the Andrew Garfield part, my wife and my son loved it. They thought it was hilarious, where he stuck one hand up on the ceiling, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Is this not enough?" And they're like, "No, you got to do more. Like, why don't you grab the cobweb for me?"
Go get the cobweb, right?
You know what I mean? But yeah, I just wanted to say that. Like, this movie really I appreciate the Maguire one so much better now.
Right. And I just gotta say, with the jokes that they had, they didn't overdo it. They put a joke where a joke needed. They didn't overdo it on the friggin' jokes. That's that because Disney's been getting notorious of making everything ha-ha moments, but they put the ha-ha moments, but it was perfect where they did it. That's another thing I liked about it.
And then like I think it was like the scene after that they go back to where with Spider-Man and the villains, right, in the apartment or whatever.
Well, they went back to the apartment to help out Tom Holland Spider-Man to fix these villains and whatever and send them back.
And
Yeah, they figure out because they didn't know where he was at because that's when he already
Right.
That's when he already had that fight with Green Goblin and all that, and the way they made Green Goblin fight him, how he slammed him through all the floors.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah,
That's what was happening before the while they were getting the other Spider-Man. He was that fight scene was dope, man. How they did it, like how showed you how strong Green Goblin is,
Yeah.
Yeah, once he's on that stuff, yeah.
There was a scene after that, like in the scene on May. That's when on May basically, died.
Yeah.
Right there,
Did you? Wait. Before we talk about it, did anybody see that coming?
I did.
I did.
Kind of felt because because
I didn't.
After she got hit, or when she stood up?
Once she said, "With power comes great responsibility," I was like, "Oh, that's Uncle Ben right there. Uncle Ben is dead." So you know what I mean?
I had a feeling she was already gonna die once she got
Auntie
involved.
Ben is dead.
Once she got involved and she was say we need to help them or whatever, yada yada. I knew. I said, "Oh, that's it for her. She's gone."
I gotta admit, I didn't see that coming, and that devastated me.
She's history because the one thing with this Spider-Man.
No, because so this is why it devastated me, and I'll tell you why. Because Peter Parker lost his mentor just not too long ago. He lost his mentor, and he never had a father, quote unquote, right? So basically, Tony was like his mentor, his father, right? He loses him, and then now he loses his freaking, like his mom, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He has nobody. He has nothing. He has one more person left, and we'll get back to that. But like, he basically has nobody. And bro, that got me. That got me like big time.
Yeah.
Bro.
But
like,
losing Tony to losing.
No, I understand that. But I'm just saying, like, he
yeah.
only had so much people in his life. He's got literally 2 friends and like about 3 adults in his life.
Right.
And, he loses like 2 of his biggest adult, which is, your mentors in your life, right? The people that teach you how to live and grow and to do things. And he loses these 2 people. And, that's huge, bro. That's super huge.
And
they were the only 2 that, those are the 2 that kept him in check.
In that scene was a very emotional scene because, like you said, when she got hit, I was like, oh, and then she got up and started talking. Then, like what Joker said, she threw that line, and then it started. I don't think in a minute I was like, maybe she's not okay. Then she kept on rambling, and I'm like, oh wow, they're gonna do this, and it was a very emotional scene. Well, yeah, there was. Couple, you heard a couple going, no. Everybody's selling, no, don't do it.
Yeah, that was one of the tearjerker scenes with her passing away. I think that was done. I knew she was gonna die. That was
a very nice. It's a nice scene. Yeah. It set it up things, but
that's the scene that gives you the Spider-Man line.
Great line, when they heard the line, everybody cheered too.
Yeah, that's what that was. What his version was missing. So, so that happens, and then what happens next? He meets up with them. Right, with the other Spider-Man, and
he's all distraught, and then when they get the other Spider-Man,
he's all distraught, and that's when they start talking.
Then they finally find him and get him in, and then they say, "There's other Spider-Man," and then they start talking.
Yeah, they start talking, and then they know that what happened to him. They can relate to him because they have their loss.
They lost.
You know what I mean? And
then
Andrew Garfield.
Their loss.
Andrew Garfield lost
Gwen.
he lost his
Gwen.
Uncle Ben. He also lost Gwen.
Yeah.
Too. So he lost heavily too. You know, he lost two people that were really close to him.
Right.
And then Toby, of course, with Uncle Ben. You know, they focused on that in the first movie. So you know, they advised him. You know, not advised him, but they let him know how they felt he's not alone. You know, like you know, they went through
Not alone in the universe.
Which is very important.
yeah, they went through some situations like that too, you know. So then they got, you know, together and they try to figure out how to cure these guys because Peter Parker is supposedly the same in every, you know, he has the same morals basically in every version. So I thought that was pretty dope. Seeing them all three together in the film together, I thought that was a good.
Yes.
Like
That
that
was
felt
great.
that felt good because I enjoyed the other movies. You know what I mean? Of course, they're not perfect or whatever, but I did enjoy the other movies.
Yeah,
And
Star Wars.
before
This is how you do a
MCU, you know,
fucking
that Spider-Man
generation
number
movie.
1 and Spider-Man number 2, those were the first big like Marvel movies. You know, not MCU related, but big Marvel movies at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you also remember at that time you also had the X-Men films, you had the Blade films, which were big because they started that whole thing.
Yeah, that was Marvel Studios. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm
Well,
just saying.
New Line Cinema. I think New Line Cinema distributed for them.
No, Sony always had Spider-Man. New Line had Blade, and Fox had Fantastic Four and X-Men.
And X-Men. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that happens, and then they get together, and so we know that all those cutscenes that they had were fake. You know, they were edited out. So we know that
they edited them out. Yeah.
Yeah. So that scene that they had with Andrew Garfield talking without his mask off, we know that that's real.
Right.
That was real, even though he denied it, said that was a lie, right?
Right. He lied his ass off in every interview. Give him props for sticking with it and then making believe. No, I'm not in this film. No, I'm not. No.
Yeah. And then
Well, what do you want him to tell you? Like, they're in the movie.
Oh yeah,
I won't go see it.
Lawyers on his ass. You better not spoil that.
NDA.
Yeah. So that scene was pretty dope when they all land together. That it's just, you know, in the trailers they just show Spider-Man, but it's all three of them. That was it. The big fight clash. You saw that was edited also.
Oh my god, that made more sense now when you seen the three of them jumping at all the villains.
And
everything. But we're at this part. So basically, they made devices to help cure their issues. So once they're cured, they were going to press the button in this box, Doctor Strange's box, to send everybody back, including the Spider-Man, back to their own universes.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically what happened. So just one thing I wanted to talk about also is when they were all fighting together, they finally synced as a team.
Yep.
You know, after that whole dialogue, I'm Spider-Man 1, you're Spider-Man 2. You know, it was funny. That dialogue was dope. But what I liked is Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. He's talking shit while he's Spider-Man still. You notice? Yeah. Hey, he's talking. He's the only one that really does that. And you know how in the comics, like Spider-Man talks a lot of shit while he's fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was nice, and Andrew Garfield always did that in his movies, you know, which I like that part of it. What else? The fight scene when another big tearjerker moment was when Andrew Garfield redeemed himself.
Yes.
Yeah. When you thought that Tom Holland's MJ was gonna die when he got hit, I was like, oh shit, you know. But you already knew, you felt it, you knew that was coming. Yeah. You know, and Andrew Garfield.
But this time he did it correctly, so you don't break a spine, right?
Right. Right. Exactly.
This time he did it the right way.
Crouching.
Yeah, her head hit the floor when he grabbed over the web. Yeah,
it was like a
that's right. That's right. I thought it was a back.
Yeah, her head. What happened was that the web caught her in his movie, but the jerk back made her head still smash on the floor. Yeah, so she cracked the back of her skull.
So
but this time he caught her, and when he took off his mask, you could see the emotion in his face. Like everybody felt that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everybody was
a lot of tears on that scene.
That was a good scene.
I know this is me going back, but what did you guys think about the whole lab scene where they were trying to do stuff?
That was great.
I really, because I thought that was too long. I thought that was
fine. I liked it when they were talking on how they do things and everything. That was
and the whole thing with like Ned telling him like, "Yo, don't worry, I won't."
Oh, that was kind of funny. That was.
There were certain scenes like that where I just felt like, this is too much. But I get what they were doing, but I felt like it was too long. But I know I went backwards. Sorry about that. But
no, you're good.
No, you're good, man. I mean, we're going all over the place.
Yeah. Well, anyway, getting back to the fight scene, the first thing I told my wife was like, "Are they really redoing the Statue of Liberty?" Like,
yeah. What the fuck?
No, I really
Yeah.
was like, I had to like Google this stuff. I'm like, oh, are they really bringing it back? They're like, what's going on?
Yo, what about me? To me, this is me and my son talked about it, and we thought it was fucking awesome. When they were on top of the Statue of Liberty and before the fight, and they were talking to each other, the dialogue between them three, and they were talking about how each villain and I fought this alien, and this is I fought this purple alien, and this guy, I haven't fought. I want to fight an alien. You know what I mean? So
we have the Avengers. It's like you have a
awesome.
band.
Yeah. So I thought that was dope before the fight, the big fight. Connecting and all that.
Yeah, definitely their dialogue whenever they talked was good.
Yeah,
like when they like they work together well. A lot of times when you mash up a bunch of characters, they don't work well or whatever. But they had good chemistry, all three of them. They had because they all relatable to each other. You know what I'm saying? So it was cool, man.
Yeah. Well, I'd say that's what.
Yeah, they're all Spider-Man.
Yeah. So, I mean, we got the scene. They fighting. So what part we up?
So they're fighting. You get the redemption scene by Andrew Garfield where he saved her.
Yeah.
And all that, and then you get the one-on-one. Well, Doctor Strange comes and he realizes that, hey, it's working. The guy Ned tells him, hey, it's working. They're being fixed or whatever. And he gets to see all the Spider-Man. They all pop up in front of him or whatever. Right. So he's like, okay, so let's help them. Let me help. Let's help get them straight, and then we send them all back or whatever. And then you get the scene with him and they start curing. Like Garfield cures the lizard
one by one. They get each
one. He cured the lizard.
I think one of my favorite parts was when they cured Electro.
Oh, Electro!
And then he starts mentioning like Miles without mentioning Miles. I was hoping
you'd be black.
Yeah. He says you live in Queens, right? You do all of this. And I thought you'd be black. He goes, well, there's got to be a black Spider-Man. And I was like,
black Spider-Man somewhere.
Yeah, there's got to be one somewhere. And I thought that was, just these little things when they do stuff like that. It really
just little eggs or a little foreshadowing of future things,
which was good.
Future things, which is pretty dope. Then you get so you get the Sandman turned back. Yep. You get you get Electro that he took out the arc reactor. He put the other thing that can sustain him, but it's not
whatever
unlimited.
The one that to get the electricity out.
Yeah, that one. Then you get Doc Connor's him done. You get and the last one that's left is Green Goblin and
and Doc Ock
tried one-on-one fight.
Oh my God!
Yeah, Doc Ock was helping them. Yeah, he was already helping them. They actually tied him up again because they broke
tied him
right.
Right.
Yeah, so they had him tied up again, and then you get the one-on-one fight with the Green Goblin.
Which
that fight to me was pretty dope, man.
That was super.
That was
cool.
Pure emotion right there.
Yeah, you got to see Tom Holland grow up in front of your eyes. There.
Oh yeah, you thought he was going to give this guy a whoop ass and a beat down.
And he did.
He wanted to. He wanted to like
just the fact that that was happening. You saw Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield look at each other.
It's like we got to stop this.
Yeah, you got to step in, bro.
Yeah, they knew that he could have killed them. Yeah.
That whole scene where Tobey grabs that glider from him and just stares at him in his eyes for like a good, I don't know, it felt like forever, but probably was only like 10 seconds. Mm-hmm. That part, and without saying any words, without saying anything, you knew exactly what they were saying to each other.
Yeah.
That was just like, bro.
That was a good fight scene. It was good. I like how they had it on the shields, and the shield is made of that bronze material or whatever, and you can hear the doom, so it makes every hit and every slam on it sound even louder.
Speaking of sound, did you guys notice they integrated all the Spider-Man movies, the previous soundtracks into
all their themes all work together.
All work together. Is like,
Tony owns them all, so why not?
And like the first one, that was Danny Elfman, right?
Yep.
That's the guy who did Batman '89, right? Danny Elfman did the theme, so that's why that first Spider-Man theme has that similarity to it. To the Batman.
Cool.
You had Hans Zimmerman and
Hans Zimmerman, Danny Elfman, and who did Hollins? Who did Hollins?
I don't know. Whoever the current guy is, I don't remember. Damn. Now I gotta look it up.
It reminded me of that time. It reminded me of that time when that new Superman movie came out, and then Warner Brothers did that right before the movie started, and they just like made that Superman sound right before the movie started. You guys know which one that is?
The Man of Steel one.
Man of Steel one. You remember, like the Warner Brothers time was coming up, and right before the movie started, they entered in that Superman.
Oh, that was Superman Returns. They did the
Was it
John
Superman?
Williams theme with the
Yeah.
whole S and
But
everything. And
Oh,
Superman
the
coming out.
Superman Returns. They remixed the original John Williams theme. They remixed it.
Right.
This guy did it. He's another one that does a lot of hero movies and stuff
But
like
just
that. I
the
forgot.
just the fact that you could really get all those, previous Spider-Man sounds into one, and it's just one of those little things. It's just the little moments like that.
Yeah, it's a
Like
callback.
when
It's a callback to you to helps you. It's like the sound thing what you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, the Sonic marketing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of it also.
So that
I cannot pronounce this guy's name who did the soundtrack, but it was Michael.
Bublé.
I don't know. I'm putting it in the chat. Yeah, you can pronounce that.
All right, no worries. Yeah, so yes, the Green Goblin got power bombed. Yeah, that's a cool moment.
Yes,
exactly. He said, "Did you guys skip Ned holding the crossbow, looking like all the knives on the wall?"
Huh?
All the wall.
Ned holding.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it like a little
yeah.
in the lab scene. Yeah, in the lab scene.
Right.
So yeah, that's called foreshadowing Hobgoblin and all that. So let's see if they go that route or whatever.
I hope not. I hope
not. So basically, he stops him from he stops him from
Tobey Maguire stops Tom Holland from
killing him.
Yep.
But then Hobgoblin stabs Tobey Maguire.
That right there had me going. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, everybody yelled a big no.
Yeah.
Everybody yelled that.
Yeah, because you started caring for the characters again. You started, a lot of people started caring already for those other Spider-Man characters again. So when he got stabbed, everyone's like, "Oh fuck," whatever. But you know what he says? He says, "I got stabbed before."
Right. Yeah. It's like, don't worry, I'm healing right now, but I'm in a lot of pain.
Yeah, they shouldn't be able to, I think, die of just a stab, or I would say, because it's implied that they have healing factors. You know what I'm saying? So
right. Yeah.
And so that's not a big deal with that. But then the movie comes to I guess they're wrapping it up right now.
Doctor Strange basically finishes doing his spell. Because Spider-Man and him talked about how he wanted everybody to forget him being Peter Parker.
Right.
Peter Parker being Spider-Man or whatever.
Yeah, that everyone's gonna forget.
Everybody's gonna forget.
Exactly, that was a big thing. So I kind of figured that's how it had to happen. When you everyone just needs to forget, and it'll fix everything. It'll
but you're forgetting the big thing. That reason why they got to that part, because the whole multiverse was
it was cracking open. The whole multiverse was cracking open.
You saw that guy with the staff? Who is that?
That's Craven, baby. That's Craven.
Craven.
Yeah,
Craven
because he had the mane.
Yeah,
he had the lion mane around his neck.
I saw Rhino. You saw the Rhino on there.
Yes. So that's the only two I can make out
of these. Yeah, the comic book versions. It was pretty cool. You got to see the silhouette of them. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they had more, but that's the only two that I could pick up quick. I need to see the movie again to really go through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't wait to watch them on 4K, bro.
Yeah, I want to watch it at home too.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to watching it at home.
Yeah, but after that,
somebody else could have made it through there. You know what I mean? You don't know.
You never know.
Well, technically, someone
did.
A lot of people did.
We'll get to the end credit scenes real quick on it. We'll get to that part real quick. So just to wrap it up real fast, because we're already going mad long, whatever. So we're gonna fast forward to
Spider-Man tells them make everybody forget, including you.
Yeah, so everyone forgets. You get the tearjerker moments again with people crying or whatever. To me, I didn't really find that girl don't make me find her emotional. So I really didn't care for that part or whatever. But what I did care for is one of
I cared, bro.
What I cared for was one of the things that I know, Mike, you told me your son felt the same way, and I was explaining to you, right, what you already knew what I was going to say because your son had the same thought. Is the problem I had with all the Tom Holland Spider-Man stuff is that he was always too techie. That he wasn't like Spider-Man doesn't need none of that shit. You know what I mean? He doesn't need to be a junior Iron Man. You know what I mean? And what this movie did was strip him down to bare bones again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you my non-comic reading wife's perspective. She absolutely loved that whole Zendaya scene where they met up at the bakery, and the reason she liked that is because she realized. Well, I guess I realized it too after she told me about it, is the fact that he's protecting them. because
Yeah.
if he starts this friendship again with them, even if he really wanted to, he's gonna put them back in this danger, put him
Yeah.
back in this whole mix-up. And he decided on his own to not make that happen. In fact, to the part that he even has to get a GED now. Like,
Yeah.
he can't even, his diploma, his high school diploma doesn't even recognize him. Like, he literally, and I guess that whole part got to her. And it got to me too. The fact that, like, could you imagine being somewhere where no one knows you? Like, literally, like, no one knows you.
That's
Like,
scary.
not even happy now. And he's,
No one,
and
yeah.
let's remind you, he's 17, going on 18, or he's 18, going on 19.
18, something like that. Yeah.
Right? No one knows you, bro. You have no family. You have nothing. And the two people that you probably could try to make a connection with, right? Like, you decided on your own, you know what? I'm not going to do this because
their life is fine right now without me.
Right. And, their life is fine. And it was kind of funny where MJ maybe thought something about him. Like, there's something in the back of her brain, but not really. And so that part really, like, it kind of, like I said, man, I'm one of those feels guys. And I'm just like, yo, this is dramatic, bro. But it does open the door for like a possible real MJ. But what Biggies was saying is that I got to tell you this, I love the new costume.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mentioned that. Yeah.
I love
old
the
school
new
Spider-Man colors.
old school.
Yeah.
And
It's basically John Romita Senior colors.
Yes, yes, there you
It's
go.
that Superman blue, what we call, right? And that
baby blue,
bright red. I love that part of it. I love how I like how he's got torn down back to what Spider-Man should be. It's just him and his own powers. Nothing really, really
just
crazy.
Being a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah, they basically so the character's basically rebooted. So I'm happy with that because I never liked the new version of Spider-Man. I thought he was always too techie. He don't need
go
none of that
either
shit.
way now because of contracts or whatever. But
just to go back real quick, just to give a little rewind to one of the conversation pieces when all three of them were talking, when they were talking about the webs.
Oh, the web.
Oh yeah, when they got freaked out. Yeah, when they got freaked out.
When Toby
They was like, wait a minute. So
you don't have it inside you?
There was like the webs come out of you. They're like this
anywhere else.
What else comes out of you?
You ever had a clog? You ever had a spider clog or a web
clog? Right.
Yeah, that was
on my down days. Innuendos over there.
Like I said, they had the funny moments when they needed the funny moments because it went through with the dialogue.
And then you got to see everybody go back to the universe, even the villains, and then all that.
Spider-Man's,
the diner scenes and all that. That's basically the ending. And then he made his costume or whatever. And this movie right here, man, like me and my son, even my son told me, he was like, this right here was the movie that he became Spider-Man, Tom Holland. This is, everybody was like, yeah, can he be a Spider-Man? He's not a good Spider-Man. But yet you showed his vulnerability. You've seen his vulnerability throughout this whole movie. You know what I mean? And now that, like Big said, nobody knows. He don't got that tech. He's just old school ways. He
don't got the Avengers. He got nobody.
This is what we want. This is what we like. You know what I mean? Because everything was given to him, right? Yeah, and Tony Stark gave him everything or whatever. Now he don't have shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he doesn't even have happy, and that's what I was gonna get.
Yeah.
And I had to wait to this part till we said it, but he literally does. He doesn't even have happy now. He is nobody. And he doesn't even have the Avengers.
Yeah, exactly. No Avengers, no nothing.
Nobody, bro. So it's interesting. Hey, yo, pause.
Man.
Hey, yo.
But
man.
So we get to the end, and then there's the mid-credit, and then the end trailer.
So before we get to that real quick, I just want to give a quick shout out to my man Heroes Reborn with the $4.99 super chat. He said Tom Holland Spidey has no Gwen Stacy so far in his universe. Maybe in college instead of MJ being the love interest. Sure. Yeah, who knows? Yeah. That'll be a good way of.
There's a couple of things that could happen. So. I think honestly, if you introduce somebody like Mary Jane, this is just me thinking super way ahead, all right? Mm-hmm. But if he goes to college and he meets a girl and her same name is MJ, that brings him back to his original MJ. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like if the love of your life was named Christy, okay, and then you lost this girl and then you meet another girl named Christy. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things like you could do. But yeah, Gwen is also a good way of doing it as well.
comics and culture.
Yeah.
Will you
Or
guys
maybe
feel-
Felicia Carter. Yeah, there's a quick little question here. He said, "Will you guys feel different about Tom Holland when you see him in Uncharted?" You know, I
No.
don't feel different about him. The only thing I have with the Uncharted, I was a fan of the games. I played the first 3 on there, and the only thing is, I think looks a little too young to play Nathan Drake. You know, that's the character. The name
It's young
on
Nathan Drake,
Uncharted.
like young Indiana Jones is young Nathan Drake.
Yeah, so you know, to me, I see Drake a little older. You know, like not a little older, but somebody probably like in his late 20s,
Marky Mark.
early 30s. I don't know. Maybe it's just
I
me.
know. I've been one of those people that's been able to separate the actors from the actual thing that they
Yeah.
act on. So, like, I can
Yeah.
separate Indiana Jones from Han Solo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically we get that, then we get the end credit scene.
Yep.
Right. So I don't know. I haven't seen people mention this yet or anything like that, but so it was 5 villains that came over, right? It was 5. And then
Yeah.
Dr. Strange says 6. Right? He's like, no, 5. He said, no, 6. He said, whatever. Venom was the 6th villain that came over.
But they teased it at the end of Venom.
Yeah,
you know.
because remember he said 6 villains came over and we only saw 5. And you know, Spider-Man.
Venom is
said
not really
5.
considered a villain, you know.
I know, not really. He still eats people.
Anti-hero.
He still eats
Lethal
people. That's a villain in my book,
Protector.
regardless. You know,
Good point.
you eat somebody's head, that's still a villain, whether you're saving somebody or not. you
Good
know?
point. Good point.
Yeah,
Point.
a good act followed by a bad act doesn't make it. You know what stands out. The bad act still is gonna hold thing. You know, it's like if I go and I shoot somebody, and then I freaking save somebody. Nobody cares that I saved somebody. They're gonna care that I shot somebody.
No, but what I'm saying is that he in the movie Venom, he's he's the anti-hero. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. You know what I mean? He's not the villain. He's not the he's not the one that
He's still the 6th one that came through. He's still the 6th one that came through. That when Dr. Strange said 6 people
So,
came
Mike,
through,
you're saying
it
there's a
was 6
sixth
people
one
that came through.
No, but
Venom
is
was the one that
Mike
came
saying
through.
that there's a 6th one that's not being mentioned? Is that what?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
No,
No.
what I'm saying is that there could have been other villains that were there that we didn't see that we don't know. It's so many people.
That's hey.
No,
It's
yeah,
possible.
you know, it could have been anyone that we don't know. But what I'm saying is that
Could have been
They
Willow
tied that
Wisp.
end scene.
when Doctor Strange said there was 6 that came through, he you know, you didn't see no one else, so he was the 6th
But-
one that came through.
It could have been Rocket Wisp.
I'm happy that the mid credit scene, we got to see Tom Hardy, Eddie Brock, whatever.
Yeah.
He's like in an island somewhere,
He's on his
chilling,
vacation.
he's sipping his margarita. You know what I mean? And him having that inner talk with Venom. I like the fact that he's here and he left. He went back to his universe, and the reason why he was there is just to plant that seed, that symbiote.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was happy that happened. I was, I'm kind of glad that Tom Holland and what's his name, Tom Hardy wasn't, it would look funny to me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like since he's a young kid, you know what I mean, and Tom Hardy's already older. You know what I mean?
They'll probably go back to it somehow. They're probably because, like you said, he left a little part of him there.
Yeah, but that symbiote is gonna go to Spider-Man. We all know.
No,
that,
I know it's going to go. But I like the fact that he was in the bar talking to a bartender, half past 3 sheets from the wind, finding out everything about Iron Man,
Avengers,
the Avengers, and everything.
Yeah.
And I thought that was hysterical.
Yeah.
That was dope.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
just
he's
like
finding about
blip right back.
And he blipped right back. Right. You seen him, and you heard Venom. No, I was getting to love this place.
Yeah. So I know some people didn't really like the end credit scene. They expected something more, but they're not going to give you too much further in what they just gave you for Spider-Man. You know what I mean? They usually
setting up.
Yeah, just throwing little things here and there everywhere, and then you stood to the end to see basically not an end credit scene. You saw a trailer.
Which
You saw a trailer for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
This forgetfulness of everybody not remembering Spider-Man had consequences with the multiverse. And then it goes into this, and that was a great trailer.
America Chavez,
I loved it. And everybody getting introduced. Yep.
Yeah.
America Chavez, baby.
They showed that. You know what else they showed? They showed the Dark Doctor Strange and
dark version.
So to show you that the What If series is
in continuity.
Yes.
Yeah, it's in continuity.
So it goes to show those characters that survived. You know what I mean? In the What Ifs, they brought them back.
You can use them, so you can see Killmonger with the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
The Captain Peggy Carter or whatever you want to call her.
Black Widow.
Black Panther.
Black Widow's alive.
Yeah, basically, right? They sent it to another universe, right? Where she died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So yeah, man.
See?
You got another super chat there, man.
Yeah. So did you guys get real quick before I get to this? So just down like, did you guys get excited for that movie for the Doctor Strange?
Oh
Yes.
fuck yeah.
Oh,
Fuck
hell
yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Yep.
It makes you realize why they couldn't show the trailer before the movie, though.
Exactly, because it would have
Yeah,
gave away a couple of things.
Yeah, I
think.
remember
Yeah.
somebody was saying, I don't know if it was IG or YouTube, they're saying like, they were going to show the trailer for Doctor Strange in the movie.
Mhm.
So obviously I'm watching all the trailers right before the movie.
Right before, I was like,
And
"Where's
then I'm
Dr.
all like,
Strange?"
wait,
Right.
there's nothing.
Right.
And then of course, so once the movie ended, I went on Google, how many post credit scenes are there? They said 2, but one of them is not really a post credit scene. And then I was all like, oh shit, they're showing the Doctor Strange thing. So I'm watching it, and I literally just picked up what do you call it? The America Chavez's like first run. Like I just picked this up like 2 weeks ago, just because I'm like, I don't know, for some reason I got on this kick. I didn't even know she was doing the whole Doctor Strange thing. Obviously, this was something that came out a while ago that I I didn't even know about. And I just picked up the whole 12 issues of her first series, and I'm reading it, and I'm reading and I'm on like book number 10 right now, and I'm all like, oh, okay, well now that I know America Chavez even closer, I'm all like, oh wow, because I know because I'm reading America Chavez, I'm like, oh shit, this can open up a whole bunch of crap. Like a whole bunch of crap. Like if you don't read America Chavez and you don't know too much of it, you don't really know that she has this ability to travel literally beyond the multiverses and within the multiverse and other parts of the, you know what I mean? So she has this ability to do that. She's not just like some Puerto Rican looking alien, which she she claims Puerto Rican, but like she's actually like an alien that just punches hard and can fly. Like she literally has this ability to time travel and multi-travel. And so when I saw her in this, I'm like, holy crap, this now officially opens up even way more than people thought. So Secret Wars is such a huge possibility, even way more than anything. So I just want to say that. That's about it.
Yeah, it's so it seems like he's putting together a team, to stop, which is pretty good. And then they included, a little bit of what happened with Wanda after WandaVision and stuff like that.
Yes. Wanda. She's in that outfit with the the normal Scarlet Witch outfit that she's got now.
Yeah. So it's cool. It's interesting to see. When is that movie coming out?
Next year.
So, sometime next year in 2022, but I think it's like early.
I thought the movies got pushed back. I thought the movies got pushed back to 2023. If I'm not
no, not Doctor Strange.
No, I know they moved the what is it, the Kamala Khan show or Miss Marvel back. The Disney Plus shows they pushed that back.
Yeah,
that's racist Puerto Rican alien. I'm just saying, she's technically an alien that claims Puerto Rican.
They're saying May 6th,
yeah, but you know what?
2022.
Yeah, so there's not really a leak. Kevin Feige leaked it himself. If y'all watched that whole thing, he said America Chavez is going to be in Doctor Strange Multiverse.
Yeah, dude, we knew America Chavez was coming for a while ago.
So, I'm just saying that
over a year. Yeah,
that news. I
just want to buy Avengers #1.
But just the fact that we get to see her now, and that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
She's gonna look
that's one that I missed. I gotta admit, I missed that one. I didn't even know.
Yeah. And, so just overall, so we could finish the whole Spider-Man thing real quick. Overall, everyone could give their final thoughts on it real quick. But I do have some stuff I want to show and tell. But just so I could take off the spoiler thing. Overall, Spider-Man to me was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the theater experience of it. Every movie has its flaws. I can nitpick certain things. Yeah, I could nitpick certain things, but I just rate them on how I enjoyed them. And to me, I enjoyed it. I gave that movie probably a 9 out of 10. You know what I mean? And it's going to be I would say it'll be in my top 5 MCU movies. You know what I mean? I'll know more when I watch it again. Because I'm watching movies, multiple times, like we all do.
Yeah, me too. I like to watch.
So then I could specifically say what spot it's gonna take or whatever. But for me, I know it'll be in my top 5 because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed the dialogue. in this movie, and sometimes the dialogue is what doesn't. It's not really too enjoyable sometimes in these movies, for me, So I give it a 9, a strong 9.
Damn.
What about you, Joker?
I would have given more. I would have given it would have been a perfect 10, but I'd say 9.8. 9.8. Yeah. So.
Yeah, there's always the one or two things that take it away. Like I don't like that version of
minor things, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they keep it from being a 10. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's what I give it. What you read in the comments?
Oh, we have officially reached out there. So listen, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, man. I don't know what you guys are expecting for these movies, but I don't have that many high expectations no more like that. You know what I mean?
I'm with you, on it. I really judge how I felt when I'm leaving the theater, and the crowd experience definitely pumped you up and everything because you felt like you were all together as one as you're watching this thing at the same time. And when the things happened, everybody cheered, cried, yelled, screamed, and you all walked out happy. And that's how I look at these films. And with that, I was highly entertained. I thought they did an awesome job. Opens a lot of doors, can go either way now. And I'm around where Joker is, a 9.8. Man, I mean, they really did. Yeah, there's gonna be issues here and there, but you know what? It had everything you wanted to see, just about. I mean, there was really, I don't know what else you can put into this without making it a 4-hour epic. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that they crammed in.
You got everything.
And you had everybody's story played out. You had all the villains had all their moments. You had all the Spider-Mans have all their moments. All the characters, including Doctor Strange, had all their moments.
Just open up your eyes, Thoro. That's all you gotta do.
I'm sorry. That's how I
blind, bro.
Look,
you're blind, Thoro.
Look, you know me. I'm a big DC guy.
Overall, give it a 7 is a pretty good score.
I would love nothing more to bash a Marvel film, but I'm telling you, this film.
He said you cried, Mark.
I was, no, I didn't cry. No. I was just really blown away how the interaction.
I got a little emotional a little bit when it.
I cried, man.
You know what scene? The scene where they were all talking about what they failed at. I lost MJ. I mean, I lost Gwen and all that stuff. That was pure emotion. I was just that damn. There was some scenes there that was like, wow, they really did acting and chemistry wise between each other, and that was great.
Yeah. What about you, Doom? How do you rate it?
Yeah, like I said, man, it falls in my top 10 now, but it doesn't fall in my top 5. Maybe 8 or 9 out of my top 10, but I will put it in my top 10, and only because if you watched my top 10 video, I didn't even like Black Panther at all. So I might put this at 10 or 9.
Yo, when I saw that Doom, I was like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?"
Like Black Panther.
Like I said, it was one of those things. Like, if there's something in a movie that's going to take me out, unfortunately, it takes me out of the whole movie. And unfortunately, that one thing that took me out of the Black Panther happened so early in the movie that the rest of the movie really didn't even almost matter. So for this movie, like I said, there were parts that I felt were too long. Like I just felt like it was too long. Like there was too much. Not that I have nothing against dialogue. Of course, you need dialogue to make things happen, but I just felt like it was too long. There were parts of it that felt like Sony, and it didn't feel like MCU, and that's what took me out of the movie that little bit. Now, I gotta say, I did enjoy the movie, and there were parts that I really enjoyed. I mean, I really enjoyed. So, like I said, it makes my top 10, just doesn't make my top 5. Like I said, there were parts like that one part where Tom Holland was going to go and kill the Green Goblin. Just that little moment where Maguire is looking at Tom Holland. Just that little 10 seconds makes almost the whole movie for me. Or where Aunt May dies, or where some of the action scenes were just phenomenal.
No,
I'm just saying.
Thanks for the $5.
I think I cried during that part. I'll admit. But
I felt it. I wasn't crying.
No, I was. I mean, but you felt the Let's be real. There were very emotional parts in this film, and they all hit home.
Overall, like I said, makes my top 10. Just doesn't make my top 5. I don't think it can beat Guardians of the Galaxy for me. I'm sorry.
It's still that's hard to replace Guardians of the Galaxy. I really enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy.
They took
real quick, I just want to give a quick shout out to Heroes Reborn for the $49 super chat. He said, guaranteed Marky and Manny cried when Aunt May died. You know.
Oh yeah.
I didn't want.
Yeah,
to know
man.
what
So I
made
think
it
that
die.
that right now wraps it up. I took out the spoilers because we're done with the whole Spider-Man thing, you know,
Yeah.
whatever. So, I know we've been on for a little minute now. I have a couple of things I want to show that I picked up that came in.
They don't mind. They love us. They love us, right, people?
Yeah, they want to see stuff and things.
Yeah. You know, let me tell you something. If we all had the same opinion on movies, it would be boring. So,
Exactly.
you know,
True.
Yeah.
True.
so I'm, you know, obviously there's people that didn't really feel it, which is so fine because there's movies that I don't be feeling that people be liking. You know, all
I'm just curious to see what those people who's saying that is. What are their perfect movie? Like 10 movies. What like what makes it the best movie that you've seen? Like I want to compare that to this movie because this movie was just awesome. You know, curious.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
I felt it
Yeah.
was
Okay.
full circle
So
thing.
let me just show real quick. I have a few things, nothing crazy. Just I've been buying some stuff on eBay or whatever, like cheap stuff, nothing crazy. So but this came in though. I got my Black Series Vader that I had pre-ordered like a freaking
Nice.
because
Very
when they
nice.
first came out, they sold out fast. And then I went to go order one, and it had to be a freaking pre-order, but it finally came in from Big Bad Toy Store. So this Vader is nice, man.
Yeah, you should have told me, man. I would pre-order with you, bro.
It was one of those things I just did on the fly a long time ago. It was long ago. You know, like trust me, a long time ago. And then I think you guys saw this when I came here, but I never showed it when I first got it online. I got the
Oh, you got the Steppenwolf.
yeah, I got
Nice.
the Steppenwolf. Yeah, because I have the dark side, so I got the Steppenwolf. You know
Oh,
what I
that's
mean?
cool.
Close
Detail's
up, the
nice.
figure looks really dope when you have it in person. I liked it. You know, it's a big figure.
I seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that's pretty dope.
I still got.
I don't got all those Snyder Cut figures. I just picked up him in the dark side. That's it.
I have the
No.
Dr. Fate one. I mean, he does some of them real good.
Then I got these books right here, real cheap on, you know, I was searching on eBay and I found a seller that was selling books for like, you know, he had all ranges from like $3 to $10 or whatever and stuff like that. So I just, you know, whatever. I just did a, you know, a couple of pickups, spontaneous pickups or whatever. So I found the second printing, near mint copy of Superman Man of Steel, issue number 18. The first Doomsday. I do have this already in a 9.8. The first printing signed by Louis Simonson.
What'd you get it for? What did you get it
for?
for?
I think I paid like $10 for it. If I'm not
Get
mistaken.
out of here. Nice.
It's the second printing though. That's why the first printing is the one that goes for more.
It's
Still.
not the fourth.
Yeah, it goes for cheap. I'm telling you, that book goes very underrated or whatever.
Yeah.
Then I found this one's not. I would say it's probably like a 9.0, maybe 9.2. It does have some spine ticks, but it's a newsstand version, and this is Star Wars Dark Empire issue number 2. You know, nice. I do have this run already, but I don't think the one I have is newsstand. That's why I picked it up. I found it in his, you know, when you start looking at sellers' other items, so you could combine shipping, whatever.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then I put this in one of my short videos, and I showed the guys off it, but I never showed it in the live show. Matina cover, Spider-Man 2099, issue number 5, Edge of Spider-Verse. Like Matina killed all these covers. And then these two, I showed it on a post on Instagram, but I never showed them live. Again, shout out to Thoro. When Thoro did his last, it was his last auction that he did, our last claim sale. So I picked up this ASM 307, real nice condition, you know, Tommy McFarlane goodness. And then I know Mike's tired of seeing this book. I got it. This is like my 5th copy, though. No lie.
Oh, jeez.
Great.
But yo, this is a 9.8 candidate. You know, Thoro told me it was really nice. He said it, and it is really nice. I looked at it really well.
Let me get one.
I already got a 9.8 yellow label signed, and I got 2 more at CGC, and then I have this one. You know, I wish I would have had this one when we did our grading, Mike. Because I would have sent it also, sent all 3 of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Damn.
So, look at this guy. He's showing off. Bing bong.
No, that was it. Word. That's it. That's all I got. Nothing else. That's it. I do got some other books coming in, but nothing crazy. They really like $2-3 books. Just from a seller I found on eBay. Some nice little Batman covers, some Cop Rage stuff, real nice, you know, but dope or whatever, you know. Anything you want to show real quick before Mark?
I got 3 books that came in the mail.
You got 3 you want to show? Okay, yeah.
I got one thing, and that's about it. Everything else I posted.
So I was reading the Doctor Strange Damnation, and it's actually a pretty good read. The reason I read it because I guess issue number 2 is when the first Moon Knight. No, sorry, the new version of the Midnight Suns comes out. So it's Damnation, Doctor Strange Damnation number 2. But I saw issue number 3 and I just thought it was pretty badass. So it's Ghost Rider, Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I love that cover.
It's not the first appearance. First appearance is in some other issue. I just thought this was dope. And then you know how like one book leads to another? So for some reason I found this book leads to another. So this is the Death of Doctor Strange, but this is the eBay exclusive.
You're frozen.
Am I frozen?
Yeah, you're frozen.
Yeah, you're stuck on that the Damnation number 1.
Let me know when I'm
number 3.
Right now?
Internet.
Yeah, you're frozen, bro. It's frozen on it. We could hear you, but you're frozen on it.
Oh man.
All right, the camera, turn it back on.
Skip over. Let me know.
All right.
Oh, my bad. It's freaking
okay.
coconut wireless, bro.
Yeah, I could.
Coconut. He's got the 2 coconuts on the freaking roof.
I just posted stuff on IG, but this I got before show started, because the mail's been coming like twice. You get some package in the morning and then late afternoon. I thought I already got the mail. I found it outside. I like the heavy metal stuff. So one of my bands, Exodus, came out with a comic, and it's a foil nicey nice and some sick artwork on that stuff. It's basically based on their songs and stuff like that and numbered on the back. So nice goodness. No, it's pretty good. If you're a metal fan and you enjoy this, it's pretty damn cool that they came out with something like that. That was it.
Cool.
That was
All right,
it.
cool.
Hell yeah.
Mike, you said
Oh shit. My bad. Yo, damn, Doom is not. Doom is there. All right,
yeah,
cool.
he came back. Yeah.
Yo, Doom. I didn't recently pick this up, but I found this in my collection because I saw your video. You picked up a couple of America Chavez books, and I picked this up when I was with Biggs a few months ago. We went to Hypnotronics.
Yeah.
Right.
Am I still frozen?
No,
you're not.
Okay, cool. Which book you pick up?
It's right here.
Oh, nice.
Oh, America Chavez.
Issue 10. Issue number 9. All for $5 each, man. Issue number.
That is homage right there to
6.
something.
Yeah, I forgot what it was. You mentioned it in your whole video, and then this one right here. When I saw this one you was talking about, I was like, "This is a dope cover." I think I got that. So that made me go digging in. And
I think that might end up being worth a little bit more later on down the road. I mean, I'm talking way down the road.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh yeah.
I agree. It's just a nice cover here, man. But yeah, man, pick these up for $5, man, over there in Hypnotronics in Staten Island, guys. So if you
she be having good back issues, and she gave us not only they were the price, they were really nice price. She gave us a discount on top of that.
Nice.
The owner of the shop,
Nice.
So I just wanted to show that off. I've been doing my whole video, so y'all see my pickups. Then
story's kind of whack, but it's a good.
Hopefully, I'm not frozen this time.
He said it was good. Doom said it was good.
Yeah.
It was whack.
So this is the eBay exclusive, Death of Doctor Strange. I just saw this. I figured I had to pick this up. I just thought it was a dope cover.
Nice.
And then this one came in the mail today. Nova number 1. This is the Forbidden Planet.
Oh, I've seen that one before. That cover,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've been having I've been going kind of crazy on Sam Alexander. So, but those 3 books came in. That's it.
Those are nice, awesome. Man. That's nice. Hey, Eli, you got something real quick? We're not gonna do a whole story time already, but if you want to show a few things real quick.
Yeah, I show a few things. So I got this on back in Black Friday. I paid half off for this. Nothing crazy.
Oh,
the nice. Virgin variant Wave X number 5. It's the Inhucali cover with Loa on the cover. She's I think she's one of the first Pacific Islander X-Men's. I think she's from Hawaii. So she's pretty cool. I think this is the first time she's on. This is the first time she's on a cover too, because she's been in the books a long time, but she's never been in like on the cover front and center. Like she's always been like a background type character. I picked these up for dirt cheap. The dude gave me both these books for $10. The first one I'm gonna show, Hulk, $377.
Newsstand.
You guys see the She-Hulk store variants?
Not for that.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm just getting the red one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that first Professor Hulk. I got the book everybody was paying first appearance prices for, but I only paid $5 for this. Ain't this a newsstand?
There you go.
I just wait, man. Just wait. You just find it, man. It's
Hey,
not
shit.
near
Hey,
mint.
shit.
This ain't no 9.8, but it's a pretty decent copy. It's a newsstand. You can't really, can't ask for it anymore.
Right.
Yeah. You see that next NY Warriors auction.
Maybe. This is a hard to find book, a newsstand. And it's not near mint either. Granted, again, it's like getting a newsstand in a near mint. I mean, good luck.
Yeah.
Conan
All right.
Adventurer, number 1.
So like
Really
a
hard.
foil?
It's a hard to get in high grade. Yeah, it's a foil cover.
Oh, nice.
Kind of tell a little bit the glare. But
Nice.
yeah, really, really hard. Anything Conan like from the 90s, the newsstands, those are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Credible Hulk 324, first Gray Hulk since the first issue.
Nice.
Nice.
This was a good story all the way through. Peter David. I don't remember who else worked on the story. It was a bunch of different writers that did the Gray Hulk run, but really, really great run. Underrated. And I thought Immortal Hulk took a lot of inspiration from the Gray Hulk run as well. And then I'm gonna just show this for last. Spawn number 30, newsstand.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Crazy
nice.
cover, dope cover, nice condition for a newsstand. Especially Image, the Indies 90s. Newsstands weren't. They weren't out there like that. So
Yeah,
finding
they
these
weren't mass produced as the directs. Yep.
Yeah, it was like an experiment. They did it just to see, what titles hit, and Spawn was like the only one that hit. So Spawn had a long newsstand run. But some of them Spawn newsstands, especially the ones in the hundreds, forget about it. You find one of those, you hit gold. But yeah, that's it. Story time.
All right, cool. Just also, I just want to. I didn't show this in the beginning. I forgot. So that's right, guys. Next year, I know probably some people thinking this is crazy, New Year's Day, but you know what? I personally don't go anywhere New Year's Day. I'm home.
Nope.
I'm gonna be doing nothing that day, New Year's Day, especially at night. I'm gonna be just chilling. So I figured, you know what? Let's do a small, let's do a little auction and have some laughs. You know what I mean? So if you guys are down, right here, Saturday night,
That's a tough
9:30 p.m.
Yeah, I'll try.
No,
I'll
yeah, I
try.
know it's not for everybody, but you know what I'm saying. But whoever can. You know what I mean? You know how we
It's
do.
a tough call because we drunk as fuck is why.
That's right. We get them drunken bids, man.
I'll
Drunken
be-
bids.
Yeah,
I'll have some
I won't
drinks
be
here
drunk,
too.
but I'll be around family.
Yeah,
That's what
so
we're banking on, drunk people. No.
you know what I'm saying. So it's just a quick thing,
Let's see.
this Saturday night. I mean, not this Saturday night. On the first next year. First
Next
one
year.
of the year.
Right.
I figured nobody's gonna be probably doing anything that night, so I said let me throw one up on the first
That's
because
true.
every day is packed with fucking auctions now. There's an auction running every night, so try to.
I
squeeze
might get in. I'll see what's going on. Most likely, we'll probably do everything
Yeah,
on
yeah.
New Year's Eve than anything, and we'll use that day to recover.
Yeah,
Gonna be
and also I
watching
just
the
want to
fights
remind
on
everybody
New
of
Year's
this
Eve.
right here.
Mm.
March 19th. That's right, King Kong 2. That's right.
Oh,
Your boy, we're gonna be there. Erod and NY Warriors, we're gonna be over there. We're gonna hostage take over his table again. I'll be there. Mike will be there.
yes,
I'm
sir.
not gonna be
yo.
there. But
I'm not gonna be there.
Man,
I
he'll
know.
be there. So
look for all the
BLC said
Valiant
he'll be
books
there.
for me.
Yeah.
So remember that.
If things
And,
change, I might be. But we'll see.
Yeah, man, that's it from my end. So yo, Mike, anything you want to say, Mike, before we go?
I love you guys out there. Thank you for joining us. God bless. If I don't talk to you guys, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and enjoy your family time. That's it.
Eli, anything you want to say before we go?
Man, I hope everybody has a great holiday. I hope everybody, gets all them Christmas gifts they wanted and all that. Has a great holiday, enjoys time with their families and everything. That's pretty much it, man. Appreciate being here. Love being here, talking things, comics, showing off, interacting with the community. So
Definitely.
I'll
We
see
won't
y'all.
have Coffin Comics this Saturday because the Saturday is Christmas, but we will have Monday's show again. We'll have another episode at Chillin' with NY Warriors Monday night. So
show y'all what I got for Christmas.
Yeah. Marky, anything you want to say before we go?
Just happy holidays to you guys, everybody here on the chat, on the panel, and everything like that. Merry Christmas, all that. Everybody be safe. Enjoy
Happy
your time
birthday
spent-
if you were born on Christmas.
There you go. And just everybody enjoy the weekend coming up. And then we'll talk
man.
more on Monday.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And Doom, anything you want to say before we go?
Yeah, man. Melikaliki Maka and a Maka Hiki Ho, motherfuckers.
I love it. I love it.
But yeah, be safe, have fun.
Yes.
I don't know, do your 6 foot distancing bullshit, whatever. Wear a mask. But
6 peeps.
yeah, whatever. Just be safe, have fun, and truly, Melikaliki Maka and a Maka Hiki Ho, man.
All right.
Awesome, brother. On that note, I'm gonna call it. Until next time, guys. Peace.
Shoots.
Shoots.